I've had the privilege of going to all 50 states. This is the only state, when you drive across its border, it has a sign there, and it says, "The people of Iowa welcome you."
When I was called for an interview, I still was kind of skeptical because everybody was telling me, "Oh, you're going to the cornfields." I'm like, well, I still have to go see the school. So when I came here, I was surprised because I didn't see any cornfields. And so in short, I was really impressed with what I saw. The department, the university. It's a big school, but it's a small department.
We truly do have a diversity of research. We span the gamut between chemistry, synthetic organic chemistry, biotechnology, biochemistry, enzymology. We have a good breadth of science in the division where we do really cover a lot of the scientific landscape. And in addition to experiences within our own division, we're also situated in what's unique for a medicinal chemistry program at a university with an academic medical center. And here we have opportunities for collaborations, the use of facilities and things like that that a lot of other places don't have. And so I think that that's one of the real things that makes Iowa, medicinal chemistry in Iowa, very unique.
We are like a close-knit family. Our graduate program is not as big as those with 300 graduate students type of graduate program. We have typically like 20 to 25 graduate students, about 5-6 postdocs in our division, and everybody knows everybody. We know everybody's name, and so this makes our relationship very special because it's very much like a family.
One of the things I really like about the program is its size within a large university. So we have access to all of the large opportunities, be it instruments, facilities, that sort of thing, and yet we're in a small setting so that we can know the faculty well and know who to talk to about what issue we may be having. Our advisors are always there for us, but expertise might lie in another area, and we know the students well enough to know who to talk to when we need to know something, some little detail about an experiment or something like that. We can go to them, and that really appealed to me coming from a small background to have that small setting, but in the opportunity of a very large university.
Well, what I like about MNPC, about our division, is that we have a small number of faculty members, but we all have very different backgrounds. And I think that we need to take advantage of the different background that our colleagues have. So it's a great place to do medicinal chemistry because of these different backgrounds.
We're able to provide students with the finest in facilities and faculty and such, but often in some places you don't have the ability to really work with the people outside of your specific advisor, and that is highly encouraged here.
I wasn't sure what kind of research I wanted to do, but when I came and visited and looked at the different things that people were doing, it seemed to be a very wide spectrum, so I thought this would be a good place for whatever it was that I wanted to do in the future, regardless of whether it was more biological or chemical in nature.
The faculty are all very well trained. We're young, we're dynamic, we're energetic, and we really like to train graduate students. So the most important thing about any program, of course, are the people. And here you're going to find exceptional people throughout our program, both at the faculty level and fellow graduate students. So if you want to come to an environment which is really happening, really exciting, come to the University of Iowa and earn a PhD in medicinal chemistry.
What's unique about the MNPC program is the diverse training environment that we offer graduate students, and this is facilitated by faculty committed to graduate education. This research is really interdisciplinary and involves research ranging from synthetic organic chemistry to biology, pharmacology, toxicology, and so there's a lot of very interesting avenues that the students can pursue for research. And so of course they will see this as they go through research rotations and meet with the faculty, but also in the seminar program as well too. They'll see this diverse amount of research that's presented.
Our program is unique compared to the graduate program in the chemistry department and biology department because our program is in the area of medicinal chemistry. Students join our department, they will be the expert of their particular research area in their professor's research interest.
What I liked about this program in particular was its size. It's a fairly small program. There's only 7 faculty. In each group, there's only up to about 5 or 6 group members in each group. Some of the other schools I was looking at had monster 20, 30-person labs, and I just like the more small-knit community we have here, especially because I come from a small liberal arts college, so I like the smaller size. It was much more comfortable for me.
I think what makes medicinal natural products chemistry special or unique is not that it's one discipline where you learn one thing, but it's this melding of different disciplines where we take pharmacology and enzymology, drug metabolism, synthetic chemistry, drug design, and you bring all these disciplines together, and that melding creates a thought process of how are we going to make new therapeutic agents? How are new therapeutic agents metabolized? How do they behave in the body? And so there's this melding of different disciplines around therapeutic agents as opposed to other disciplines that are made more discipline-centric in just one component of that. Whereas in medicinal chemistry, the central theme really is therapeutic agents and making drugs safer for people.
So why would you want to come to Iowa? Because we have everything you could possibly want for both your personal development as well as your professional development.
I think a student's choice in coming to the University of Iowa really is going to come down to probably 1 or 2 major decisions. And the first is, what do you want scientifically? And at the University of Iowa, we are a major biomedical research institution in Big Ten school. We are in the elite of the Big Ten schools in major biomedical research, and so there's no question that scientific opportunity is endless here. On the other side is, where are you going to school? The University of Iowa in Iowa City. Iowa City is a wonderful Midwestern community, so no matter how fast-paced and hard-driving biomedical research institutions are, when you walk out the door at night, whether it's 5 at night or midnight because you've been working late, you walk out to a nice Midwestern community. It's a great environment for students to walk to work, walk to the lab, bike to the lab. Very easy to get around. So I truly believe the University of Iowa has the best of both worlds. A major biomedical research institution in a community that is very easy to live in and enjoy.
I am an Iowa native, so I didn't actually want to stay in Iowa per se, but when I came and interviewed, I found a great environment. I found many professors I thought I could work for. Also, just the quality of the resources available to all the students and the quality of education I found really, really great. And despite what I was looking for to get out of Iowa and be somewhere else, I found that Iowa really was the best match for me.
It's not too big, you can still find everything that you need here, but I don't really have to worry about getting stuck in traffic. And I live fairly close, so my commute to work is it's like 10 minutes. So.
It's a bigger city from Decorah, which is where I did my undergrad in, and so I'm from Minneapolis, which is a bigger city, and so I like the size. And then I like that there's a lot of opportunities, so if I want to get involved with things, I can volunteer. So for instance, I volunteer at the Ronald McDonald House, and that's just kind of something that I know I can do on the side, and it was available. And then I like the outdoors scene here too. There's lots of frisbee golf and things like that. With the river, you can go canoeing, so I like it.
A typical day in our research group or our laboratory would probably involve the researcher identifying what is the major problem that I need to overcome to advance my project. And this could be a wide range of things, from learning a new program to learning how a new instrument works. Oftentimes it's also careful observation in your experiment, the recording of these observations, keeping up a good scientific notebook. You never know each day which one of these things that you'll need in order to solve these problems. We're very fortunate here at the University of Iowa to have numerous world-class core facilities for our students and faculty, both for research and training. There are everything from high-performance computer systems to high-throughput screening facilities, robotics, state-of-the-art equipment, and really outstanding core management of those facilities. It is critical for our students to become independent thinkers because we are training scientists and leaders in science to be able to interpret the meaning, quality of the scientific data for themselves. And this is not something that people are going to tell you how to interpret it. Part of the scientific method involves being able to make your own assessments about the quality of scientific data. If I had to identify the single most important attribute of a researcher in my particular field, that would be hard to do because I honestly believe it's a blend of a number of different attributes such as scholarship, organization, drive. There are many different things that one needs, but I probably would say that curiosity is very, very important in science. There has to be an intrinsic drive to understand how things really work. I think if you had to pick one, that would probably be it. But success is probably going to involve more than just that, curiosity.
One of the most unique things about medicinal natural products chemistry is that we really do specialize in mentoring graduate students. It's really what we focus on here in the program. From the very first day when we recruit you to the last day when you're graduated, you're going to be cared for the entire time here. Mentoring meaning that we have time for you in our offices to meet with you, to talk about experiments, to help you solve experimental problems. Mentorship in terms of teaching you how to speak in front of a public audience to give a seminar. Mentorship in terms of writing manuscripts about your scholarly work. So throughout the entire 5 years we're here for you. And we work as a group as well. The faculty are all have open offices and available to meet with you in the respective areas. But it's really important to have solid, good mentors. And when you're shopping for a graduate school, look carefully for mentorship. It's the most important thing to make your time in graduate school enjoyable, to have a close connection with your thesis advisor, and ultimately to set your career off in the right direction.
Well, the mentoring for students is not just the major professor. It is also with the other members of the faculty. Students, I think, feel comfortable in poking their head in a door and saying, "Can you help me with something?" They know the expertise areas of the faculty, and they'll come in and ask a question. And you know, I really enjoy having a student come in and say, "Hey, I've got this problem with an enzyme. What do you think?" Or "I'm trying to purify this protein. What do you think?" And that's fun.
We have a seminar program involving outside speakers from various universities, and these are individuals who are on the cutting edge of research, and this is a good opportunity for the students to learn what's going on in science, and also this is great for the students to be able to meet these speakers and to interact with them and network with these speakers, and via a lunch, a graduate student lunch, oftentimes a pizza lunch with the graduate students and the speaker. And for the students, they never know what this might turn into later. This might turn into job opportunities.
We are a smaller program, and the students interact with the faculty here on a daily basis, almost all the faculty on a daily basis, and really get to know what's out there in terms of the science, and also learn how to talk the language of science in all different fields. And so we take a very vested interest in our students, both their education and training while they're in the program, helping them as much as we can to secure positions after they graduate, and their success is our success.
The Medicinal and Natural Products Chemistry program at Iowa is a very detailed program to train you to become a PhD. We have entering level graduate students who take a full year of didactic coursework and will be supported on an RA or a TA during that first year. In the second year, there's a second full year of classes, again, transitioning to RA support. At that time, the students then complete other requirements. During the second year, they provide a public seminar. They take a pre-doctoral exam, including both a oral and written exam. Upon completion of that exam, then it's about 3 years of research, intensive research in the lab, at which time they present in front of their committee, a thesis committee. There's a thesis defense, and then they're granted the PhD.
The ideal graduate student for me to recruit to my lab is somebody with a breadth of interest, from chemistry to biology, because our program really does encompass all of those fields in between. Also, a student who is an independent thinker and a student who is willing to take ownership of the project and very quickly become the most knowledgeable person about that project in the world is really what I'm looking for.
When I was looking at graduate schools, I was looking at the size of the program, the research opportunities, as well as some of the extracurricular activities that I could also be involved in. And so when I looked at Iowa, it had a smaller community. There was a lot of professors. There's only about 6 of them, and it was very diverse. And so that was really attractive as well, because I could use the chemistry and the biology that I did in undergrad and apply both of those to my current research project.
So to come to a department where there were only 25 students at the time really appealed to me, because I knew I wouldn't just be a number and that I would actually get one-on-one help or mentorship with all the professors. I looked through all over the U.S. I actually wanted to go back home to Colorado when I first started looking, but coming here, the research was very broad, but very specialized, so I had a lot of choices in what I could do.
My daily interactions with graduate students really is to a very large extent driven by the graduate student and what they need, where they are in their experiments. If they've got a question, if they've got interesting results, I constantly encourage them to come in, talk about it, let's analyze the results, let's plan the next experiments, and that's something that I think translates to all of the faculty here in our division. They're really very open to having a student stop them and say, I get some very interesting results, or I'm having a horrible time trying to get this particular technique to work.
And the whole purpose with our choosing a project is not only for the good of the science, but also for the best training of our graduate students.
In my group, we have what we call a journal club. So we get together every week and we discuss papers from the literature of those journals that I want my students to be reading. And we choose a student who's going to present about the paper, and this person goes to the front, so they learn to speak in public. And then we analyze the paper and we see why they did the things they did, and then I ask the students what they think that maybe is missing in that paper, or how they do it, or maybe we can try to think of other approaches, maybe to get to better results, perhaps. And I think that really helps for students to become independent thinkers, and maybe that's the way to trigger our brains to start thinking of different ways to do things.
I absolutely believe the investment in graduate school is probably one of the greatest investments a young person can make. I had a lot of friends that went into business and other kind of careers 4 years after, 4-year bachelor degree and out. And yes, they got an earlier start on life. There's no doubt going to graduate school is an investment of time. It's not an investment of money, because our students are well supported, so you do not have to pay your way through graduate school. You get a stipend, but it is an investment of time. And I believe that time spent in graduate school is time well worth it. When you are done with graduate school and you go out into the workplace, the career you have will be one of leading the charge, not following. And I think that's very important for people that really have a passion for science and want to do something with their life and want to do science and be a scientist, to invest that time to get the PhD and then go out into the world and go out into a pharmaceutical company and be a group leader and be a part of developing the next generation of drugs in America.
And I came from the FDA. I had worked there for a little over a year, so this was just definitely the best fit for me. I looked into pharmaceutics, but pharmaceutics was more about the the biodistribution and the bioavailability, and I kind of wanted to do more of the development of the actual drug. So that was why I was interested in coming here.
So every student needs to decide if their career path is going to require them to do a postdoc. And there are positions out there that do require it and positions that don't. And it's really up to the individual student. Any student that chooses to pursue additional training as a postdoc, maybe to secure a faculty position at a research institution, or it could be to just obtain additional training in a research area different than what they did as a graduate student. In either case, there are many opportunities that are out there. For a student who wants to go immediately into a job, perhaps a teaching position or an industry immediately out of graduate school, or somebody who wants to pursue advanced postdoctoral training.
We recruit students for medicinal natural products chemistry that typically have bachelor degrees in chemistry, biochemistry, could be biology, microbiology, or even engineering sometimes. Students have a strong background in science, have done excellent at the undergraduate level at great institutions. We recruit a lot of students from small colleges, but also big colleges. We recruit from all 50 states. Students have taken the GRE exam and done excellent on that as well. And for a reward for their hard effort at the undergraduate level, they are invited to interview after applying to our program. We pay the expense of their interview. They come here, they interview with the faculty, and we make them an award of full stipend and tuition for 5 years of support towards the PhD.